What's up, everybody? This is Zach with NerdK Plus for March 27th, 2018, and I'm joined along with
Robbie. Roll.
Everybody, we have a jam-packed show of all the video game news that you need to know. You can go check it out over on any platform that streams because we're pretty much everywhere. You can check it out on all the podcast services, including Spotify. And you can check us out over at patreon.com/nerdcave. They're our sponsor tonight, which is us.
Yeah.
So you can go sponsor us over there. But without further ado, we're going to kick it into the news. EA is hiring for an open world Star Wars game. This article comes from Game Informer by Jeff Marchiava. Fava. Sorry, man. Sorry, Jeff. A new job posting is connecting the dots on EA's plans in a galaxy far, far away. The job listing, which is posted on the company's internal job board, calls for a lead engineer to lead a team to deliver online features for a Star Wars open world project. The listing says the role will help ensure designs will maintain high traffic services for multi-platform games, suggesting the title will come to multiple systems. While plenty job listings for prospective projects come and go in the video game industry, this one is listed under the EA Vancouver, which syncs up nicely with last October.
Yeah.
They closed Visceral. They moved a lot of the stuff from Visceral into EA Vancouver, so that's where all of this is coming from. At that time, EA Patrick Suderlin stated that the part of the reason for the shift was to deliver an experience that players will want to come back and enjoy for a long time to come. So, they close all that down, they move this, and this is the project that they're now working on because they said that they were moving the Star Wars project that Visceral was working on to EA Vancouver.
Yeah.
So now it's an online open-world Star Wars game. Kind of reminiscent of Star Wars Galaxies. Star Wars Galaxy that we had a long time ago, and then recently we've had Star Wars The Old Republic that BioWare put out. So what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I really didn't get to play the BioWare's open world Star Wars game.
It's not really open world. It's sort of
MMO.
Just MMO. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, MMO. But I am excited for this. I'm excited anytime I hear Star Wars come up in video game world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, open world. I mean, you had me at open world. Because what is that reminiscing of when you say open world Star Wars game? Essentially, Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, that was like an RPG.
But it was still somewhat open world. You could go pretty much wherever you wanted.
Yeah, on the worlds and everything.
Yeah. But I know it's not going to be the coveted third KOTOR that we're looking for.
Not.
But like I said, anytime I can be a Jedi or I can be a bounty hunter or whatever it's going to let me be, I hope it lets you create your character.
I think you'll be able to create whatever character that you want. This is definitely going to be a games as a service model or a live game, if you will. So we're going to definitely be able to pick whatever we want. I think this definitely says SWTOR is soon to be. It's already free to play. Essentially, it's a great game. I love the Old Republic game. It's good. It's not KOTOR, but it's still really good.
Yeah.
I think this means that they're going to put less and less into it, and then we've seen that trend as the years have went on.
Oh yeah.
But I think they divert everything, and I know BioWare and EA Vancouver are totally different. But if you're putting out a new online Star Wars game, guess what? It's going to go to the new thing.
Yeah, and you're going to be bringing over a lot of people who are still playing SWTOR.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to, because I mean, you're obviously, I mean, you look at anytime you put a game out that's similar to that game, and it's newer, it's flashier. I mean, you're always going to go with the
new graphics,
the new kid in town.
Oh yeah. Or the boys are back in town.
Boys are back in town.
With this, we see the writing on the wall. I know we've had hints and rumors that Disney is going to pull Star Wars from EA. This is their last chance. This is their last chance with the Star Wars franchise. If it goes well, they'll get to keep it. If it is a bumbling mess like Battlefront 2 has been, then it's done. It's gone. They've put the bullet in the head and it's done.
Now, do you think Disney will continue trying to put out different Star Wars games?
Oh yeah,
right.
they will definitely, like, that is a cash cow and a half.
Oh yeah.
So I think that they will still continue to put out games. They will just find another publisher.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just put this out here. If I was going third party, I would go with Supermassive would be good. The guys that made Infamous. Oh wow.
Oh,
They're making the Spider-Man game. I'm blanking right now. Insomniac. Yeah, those would be great. Insomniac, Supermassive. You get into the minutia of like what people can develop and everything.
yeah.
If you're going first party, Naughty Dog all day long. Naughty Dog. Sony Santa Monica, that would be awesome. The guys that make God of War.
Yeah, I would love for Naughty Dog to get a hold of a Star Wars game, just because of how they tell stories.
Oh yeah, they would be so good at it.
I mean, it's kind of like what BioWare used to be with telling stories. I mean, I think Naughty Dog is still killing it to this day.
What's sad is the lead writer and everything for the Uncharted series, Amy Hennig, went over to Visceral to make a Star Wars game. Left Naughty Dog to make a Star Wars game, and now it's done. It's dead. They killed it. EA, stop breaking my heart.
They do it every year. It's a new heartbreak.
It's a new low every year. They just keep digging it deeper and deeper and deeper.
Digging up, hole digging.
Now, what doesn't break my heart is this news. Medieval remaster could include Medieval 2 with pre-orders. This comes from PlayStation Universe, written by Laddie Simcoe. Since then, Sony has been they announced it at PSX and everything. Has been painfully silent, but there's been some recent chatter on Twitter from a couple of Medieval fans who've inquired about the game via chat at Walmart and Target. Both sources say the game will be available to pre-order within a few weeks, and the Walmart employee states that Medieval 2 will also include the remaster. If the information is true, it's likely that Sony released Medieval details at PAX East. And they have like a chat log of them going back and forth, talking about Medieval, like asking. And it pretty much is like, oh, when is it going to be available? It's like April 20th. It's like, and it's going to also have in the remaster Medieval 2. That's awesome because it's more. You get more for bang for your buck. And I'm assuming this game is not going to be a $60 game. It'll probably be like Ratchet and Clank was $40. The Insane Trilogy Crash Bandicoot was about $30. So going with that trend that they've set up, having a cheaper remaster moves them faster. And having two games definitely makes it worth the money, in my opinion. And I know I've always really wanted to play the Medieval games. I've only played the demo of them, but that demo was really fun.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they've increased or changed up the controls to match what would be, the norm these days, because back then controls are a little bit different than what they are now and everything.
Yeah.
With the improved graphics and all of that. So I'm excited for this. What do you think?
Now, anytime you can get more bang for your buck, I'm all about that. And like I said, like you said, they have to change the controls because we've seen, publishers remaster a game, put it out there and be like, hey, these are the same controls from the 90s.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And,
I know Shadow of the Colossus, same controls as what it was. It is totally weird compared to like normal controls and everything of what is right now. Still an awesome game.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot, thankfully, had tweaked it a little bit compared to what it was and everything. But now, like those games, like you got to have some refresh control schemes.
Yeah, because you'll have people confused. Like when you go from one game to the next, you know how your brain is stuck on one way?
Oh yeah.
Like that's gonna be you the entire time you play this game.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I'm excited for it. I can't wait for it. I'm hoping April 20th will be what we get. And I just can't wait to get it on my Xbox. You ain't getting it. PlayStation's getting it. Now, combining PvP and PvE for a different take on Battle Royale, you're going to like this. Dying Light Bad Blood is a new standalone online title set in the universe of the 2015 Dying Light game.
I have heard about this.
The concept is simple. 6 players are dropped across a large open map with the goal of harvesting and looting enough blood packets to trade in for a helicopter ride out of the infected zone. The catch, there's only room for one. So there you go, kind of Battle Royale right there. The primary way to obtain blood packets is killing zombies. Nests are located all over the city, and since you're racing against other players to get to the chopper, with enough blood, you want to make a beeline towards the high concentration areas. Unfortunately, when you're dropped in, it's with nothing but the clothes on your back. Thankfully, the looting and crafting aspects of the original game are fully intact. You're not going to get far without competent weapon, and weapon mods definitely help. So definitely playing the regular game, like enjoy the game. Parkour was awesome. This is a totally different take because with Battle Royale, Fortnite, with PUBG, you're definitely fighting in regards to each other. You're not having to you're getting materials from the world in Fortnite, and you're looting in PUBG, but you're not having to go kill NPC characters or AI characters or whatever.
And I think that's what's going to make Dying Light kind of stand on its own, because it's taking from both worlds. It's taken from the Dying Light world and from your Battle Royale games like Fortnite, PUBG. And I think it's really cool. I could see people getting I'm at the chopper, and then he gets shot. Adding in the PvP plus the PvE is just going to make it such a cool world, especially when, in PUBG, all you can do is really upgrade your weapon. In Fortnite, you can upgrade your weapon, but you can also build into the world. But this game is actually going to be you can have a machete and you can hook it up with the propane and everything and have the fire machete. You can. Yeah. It's the exact same thing that we got to do and loved in the Dying Light game, where we were able to create and kill. Yeah. And we're adding more people into it, and I think it's an awesome idea.
Well, with the blood package, you actually can upgrade how much damage you deal and everything. Of course, it uses
the blood packets.
So the more you upgrade yourself, the more damage you deal, the more blood packets you can get. Now, once you get into the area when you have enough to get the chopper, it starts a countdown, and it tells everybody that someone's about to win. So you're not worried about the zombies at that point. You're worried about
you got to kill that
everybody else in the game. So I really like that. It's a totally different way of doing it. And like you're saying, it's so unique in its way. It's taking something that we have become very, very well known, that Battle Royale system and everything, and kind of flipping the script and making it work within the game. Because we see a lot of games trying to add a Battle Royale. We've got GTA. We're seeing Call of Duty probably adding it in there. So, and Red Dead 2 is going to have it in there. So this is an interesting way to do it with working with what the game is.
And we've seen Dying Light do this a lot. And a lot of times it's free content they're handing out, and I think that Dying Light is doing everything right. Mm-hmm. I know it's a game that doesn't get talked about enough.
No,
I feel I know it came out 3 years ago, but it is. It's
sold like crazy though. It hit right in the perfect time, and then you could see how it hitting at 2015. Big in January, it set up the next few years how releases were going to happen.
Yeah.
You look at 2017, there were so many big games at the very beginning of the year. Look at 2018. It's been the same thing, and Dying Light set that up. They saw that people wanted new games at the beginning, and somebody took a risk, and Dying Light set it up. And then you've had Resident Evil, you've had Monster Hunter now, you've had Sea of Thieves. You've had a ton of different ones that are selling like crazy because they're in the beginning of the year, because the end of the year is super saturated. I don't understand why nobody sells games or new games launches them during the summer, because everybody's out of school then.
Yeah, they're definitely missing the mark there. But Dying Light, like I said, I love the game, and I love this new take on the Battle Royale system that we're going to be getting. It just sounds fun, and I can't wait to get some blood packets, man.
Me too. Speaking of Battle Royale, Fortnite has set a YouTube record for the most video game uploads in a single month. It's crazy stuff here. This comes from Game Informer Imran Khan. Fortnite and its immensely popular Battle Royale mode have now set a record for the most video uploads in a single month throughout the entire history of YouTube. The news came from the Twitter account of Ryan Wyatt, the head of YouTube Gaming. How big is Fortnite on YouTube? Wyatt tweeted, Fortnite holds the record of the most videos related to a video game uploaded in a single month ever. Yesterday, the Battle Royale tournament had over 42 million live views and set a record of our biggest single live gaming stream at 1.1 million concurrent viewers.
Now, so many streamers, so many, YouTubers are getting into Fortnite because right now, if you are making gaming content, you'd be dumb not to add Fortnite to your repertoire because people are eating, breathing, everything Fortnite. I really thought that it was going to be PUBG that was going to be the bigger of the two, and Fortnite has just come out and kind of knocked it down. I think it's because it's more colorful, more creative,
and it's consistent. Like, it's not buggy like PUBG is, and there's not the cheater issue going on in PUBG, as
that's true
compared to Fortnite. Personally, I played both. I like Fortnite way better. Like, the building aspect adds such a different feel to the game.
Yeah,
and it just runs so much smoother than PUBG. PUBG definitely has its good spots to it, but I just enjoy.
Now, Fortnite's already fully released, right?
It's an early access. Actually,
okay, because they're both kind of in the preview stage, right?
Yeah, and both of them are in the early access, and Fortnite runs way better than PUBG.
PUBG needs to catch up,
and Fortnite's totally free to play, unlike PUBG where you have to buy it.
Yeah.
So, but PUBG you get in-game currency. You sort of do in Fortnite. That's a little weird.
Now,
but you can buy. It's easier to buy stuff in PUBG than it is Fortnite. Like, they want you to pay microtransactions.
Now, will Fortnite ever be a paid game?
No, I think it's going to be totally free because Fortnite versus the world, or whatever the PvE part of it, is totally free, and it's completely out and everything. So I think they're relying on the microtransactions, like a free-to-play model and everything. And just looking at the chat, the celebs have made it such a big thing. We saw Drake.
And a few rappers playing it with Ninja.
Yeah, and it's been crazy. And we see a lot of YouTubers jumping to Twitch because of it. You look at the Paul brothers. They're doing that because of all that. But that's awesome because there are so many gaming videos put up every day. And for Fortnite to jump and be the most, that's crazy. So good job, everybody over at Epic that's been working on that. You just had to kill Paragon to make this work.
It's true.
Sea of Thieves devs have cut out controversial death tax, updated following community feedback. This is from IGN from Brian Barnett. You can feel free to die any way you like. Rare has scrapped the idea of the death tax in Sea of Thieves following community feedback. On Twitter, Joe, executive producer on Sea of Thieves, announced the team at Rare has heard the feedback regarding the proposed system, which would see players incurring a cost from the ferryman each time they died. We messed up with the messaging around this, Neat said, and the death tax is now gone. The tax previously teased for the game's next update would not only have charged players each time they died, but the specific cost would be determined by how they died, with more preventable clumsy deaths incurring a heavier penalty. Neat went on to thank players for the honest feedback and discussion on the subject.
Go
ahead.
It's always nice when developers and everything listen because, I'm not even doing the voice. But, the death tax would have hurt this game so much because, let's say you get eaten by a shark or the Kraken, which I fought the Kraken, and it's very, very, very terrifying.
Did you beat it?
Yeah.
Cool.
If you die from that, and let's say, okay, I just turned in a chest, and it was only worth $150. Well, if I died, and I had to pay $160. Well, that's an hour of my time.
Oh yeah,
gone.
That you just gone. Yeah.
So I think adding the death tax would have hurt the game a lot because right now
it needs everybody playing.
I'm about to say you need as many people in this game as you can. You have to come up with new content because right now, I mean, it's pretty much the same stuff over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
You have to get your reputation high enough, and I believe that's when the mysterious stranger has some kind of in-game type thing where there's this giant cave full of, plunder that you
wonders.
can, But if you add the death tax in, nobody's going to want to play because it's so easy to die.
Like, I can see where they're coming from. You look at Super Mario Odyssey. Like, every time you die, they take 10 coins away from you. But in Super Mario Odyssey, coins are so easy to get. They're everywhere. And anytime you go in and out of, like, a place and they load up the map, those coins are back. It's so easy to get them. But in this game, it is so hard to make money. You've got to work extremely hard. And having that death tax definitely, like, makes people feel like they're wasting their time because you're not guaranteed to live. Somebody might sneak onto your ship or blow your ship up or kill you in the port.
I killed me, Jacob, and Marshall because I was down there. The barnacle chest that has like little sea barnacles on it.
You talking about the chest of sorrows?
No. It's just a chest that just had barnacles on it. Well, Jacob has this thing where he turns off all the lights on our ship at night. He doesn't want anybody to see us. Super smart. But when you have Robbie hitting a chest to get the barnacles off, and he doesn't see the 4 things of gunpowder right beside him, and Robbie misses the chest one time and hits the chest, and all of a sudden Jacob's like, "What happened? I'm on the ferry," and he's like, "Did someone blow up our ship?" And all of a sudden he hears me just maniacally laughing in the background. I killed all of me, and we had like 4 barrels of gunpowder, like 8 chests, and like 4 skulls on our ship. All of it
gone. Mm. So I'm glad that they're taking that out.
Oh yeah,
it's the right decision. It's what they needed to do. Leaked Overwatch League rulebook includes some weird stipulations. This comes from Game Informer from Cyril Vasquez. Surreal.
he's so surreal.
While plenty of us have been rooting for our favorite teams, I haven't been rooting for anyone. A few questions lingered about the makeup of the competitive league. Yesterday, however, esports journalist Richard Lewis leaked what he's calling the official Overwatch rulebook, which contains outlined stipulation procedures, players, and blah, blah, blah. Of course, you can't do tobacco, pornography, obscene gestures, the things that we see every team do and all of that. We understand that. Totally cool with that. It is what it is. But these are the weird ones that we're fixing to get into. You're not able to stream with more than one other player from the league, as doing so would constitute under the contract playing as a part of a team without the approval of the league. Playing only in game standard modes. No hopping into custom game servers or using cheats. This also applies to non-Activision Blizzard games. Yeah.
Wow.
Not being able to use a name that references any Activision Blizzard character while playing non-Activision Blizzard games. Not being able to participate in any kind of organized competitive play for any game. Using only the most updated version of any game that they're playing. Not being able to directly or indirectly endorse the playing or purchase of any non-Activision Blizzard game in any manner. Now, that one right there, that means they can think that is, you can only play Overwatch. You can't play any other games.
Yeah.
That's what I'm reading right there. That might be as, like, on my Instagram, I post, I'm playing this game. That's endorsing that game right there. It's a little crazy. And then not being able to criticize any Activision Blizzard games or question the legitimacy of the Overwatch League or any of its matches.
See, that is dumb. Like, I'm not going to play a game and the game is crap, and I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't say this about this game. That is...
See, I can never be, like, they've already blackballed me. Like, if I was the best Overwatch player, they would never invite me to the league because they have thousands and thousands of hours of me, like, calling out everybody with their microtransactions and all of that. So I would never make the league. Lewis did mention that the rule about multiple players streaming together has since been altered due to player feedback. Another stipulation of the league is that, now this is the one that's crazy, it owns the rights to the player's likeness and more. In fact, the Overwatch League can create reality shows based on individual players or teams, and the players won't be given any royalties. If a player wants to dispute any part of the agreement or aspects of the league, they'll have to settle it solely through arbitration with the league itself and cannot engage in class action suits of any kind. Man, they've got that so ironclad. Like, it is crazy how tight of a hold they have on all these people.
I mean, Blizzard's a corporation, and at the end of the day, most corporations, even the Mickey Mouse Corporation, are cutthroat.
Yeah, and you think about it, like, they have put in so much money to make this work.
Yeah.
Millions upon millions upon millions of dollars.
They have to protect the royalties.
So you're dealing with that, and the whole league as a whole, it's just one big commercial for Overwatch. Like, when you get down to it, like, yes, it's competitive and all of that, but guess what? It's not a esports league. It's an Overwatch league.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people love it, but some of these stipulations
are crazy
and concerning, because, you know, you've got these people that are putting, like, it's their livelihood right now, and they could easily be just cut from the team, and then they could use their likeness and make a whole, I know this is like the far end of the spectrum, make a whole documentary on how this person's a loser because they have rights to their likeness and everything. Of course, that's detriment of character and everything, but some of these are like this one right here, not being able to directly or indirectly endorse or playing a game or question any of their games, like criticizing any of their games.
Like, how are you going to get any truthful, I mean, besides people who aren't obviously contracted with Blizzard, but, like, you know, if they come up with an update and you know, you have your top Overwatch players that can't even say a bad thing about it. Like, I mean,
like if they nerf some character's ult or something like that.
Yeah, I think, you know, no one person should, like, have all that power, and that's crazy.
No, they shouldn't. But you can have some power by going to patreon.com/nerdcave and supporting us there.
And turning our power on.
Yeah. Patreon is our way to give like a subscription base to everybody. We start at $1 level, and you get a ton of stuff with that $1.
Ton of stuff early. You're getting extra content. And even just the $5 tier, I mean, that's $5 a month. You know, each month you'll be entered into a chance to win some kind of prize that we're giving away. I mean, it could be a Nerd Cave t-shirt. I mean, it could be like a pop figure. I mean, it could literally be anything.
Anything, yeah.
My left shoe.
Could be your left shoe. I would give that away.
I mean,
yeah.
I need it for work, but...
No work. No work. So, guys, you can go over and check us out over at patreon.com/nerdcave. Toss us $1. Make Robbie. It helps us a ton out, just like our Patreon producer, Kayla Palmer, did. He went over there and tossed us a bunch of dollars. Became our Patreon producer. And thanks to all of the awesome people that have helped us out create our set and just made everything possible by their support through patreon.com/nerdcave. So please go check us out there. Toss us a few dollars. And if you can't do that, the thing that you could do to help us is like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff.
And leave us a review on like your podcast services that you use.
Yeah. I would like that.
It'd be very nice. We'd greatly appreciate it.
Now, that Sea of Thieves update seems so far away. That new content seems so far away. If I wanted to know where the new releases were coming out, what would you tune into each Tuesday and Thursday, Robbie?
Nerd Cave Plus.
Exactly.
It's so I have to think about it before I say it because my mind goes straight to another plus.
The game releases for March 27th, which is today. The Alliance Alive for 3DS. They're making 3DS games still. I'm proud of you, Nintendo.
I'm very happy with that.
I'm proud of you, Nintendo. I'll tell you.
A teller
lied and sullied the Alchemist and the Mysterious Paintings for PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC. Batman, The Enemy Within, Episode 5, same stitch for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, Mac, iOS, and Android. Just go ahead and put it on the Switch. You've already got the first season of Batman. Just go ahead and put this on there. Bit Dungeon Plus for PlayStation 4, and Vita, the Vita lives.
For a little longer, at least.
For a lot longer. Bridge Constructor Stunts for PlayStation 4. Degeneration HD for the Switch. Far Cry 5 for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Injustice 2 Legendary Edition for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Now, this game actually comes with all the downloadable content, every character skin, all of it. Boom. If you haven't played Injustice 2, great story.
Very good story.
And you get everything. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Hellboy, Aquaman, Superman, Robbie Rawls.
Yeah, I'm actually a playable character.
He is a playable character.
You have to beat every level on hard while playing upside down with one hand tied before you can unlock me.
You have to play it upside down like this, and you have to have a camera going. So you're like... There we go. That was just a little silliness. MLB The Show 18.
Now I'm renting this game very soon because I love baseball and I have not played a baseball game on a console since they still had them coming out for the
everything
Xbox.
Else. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be happy about that.
I am.
I don't care. MX versus AT All Out PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition for the PC, Mac, Linux. Outlast 2 is out on the Switch.
Okay.
Pick Arc Game Preview Early Access for the Xbox One and PC. Terra Founders Pack Head Start Access for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Trove Heroes Expansion for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and Mac. Warp Shift for the Switch. You like my enunciations? The Witch and the 100 Nights. The 100 Night 2 for the PlayStation 4. I'm going to just have to say, I hate reading titles that make no sense to me.
100 Night? Yeah,
100
I know.
Night. Games coming out for tomorrow, March 28th. Fire Emblem Warriors DLC Pack for the Switch and 3DS.
Chuck for that plaque and gingivitis, everybody.
Yes. Gravel, Ice, and Fire DLC for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Roller Coaster Tycoon Joyride for the PlayStation VR. And Tempest 4000 for the PlayStation 4. So there you go.
That was my roller coaster.
So let's check the chat real quick. If you have any questions, you are more than feel froggy to jump in there.
To feel froggy, then jump in.
Jump in there, ask a few questions. Nick says, one game I wish I would have picked up was Dying Light. He says, I remember Colin Moriarty, of course, having very big praises for it. I would totally agree.
I would too. I've spent countless hours playing it. I really wished I would have completed the DLC. I do kind of want to go back and beat it. It is on one of my my mini ever-growing list of games that I want to beat.
Yeah, and mine's literally sitting on the floor over there because it fell off the desk the other day. But that's okay. That's okay. Nick also says, talking about the Overwatch League, sounds like this league is being held in 1940s Germany.
We get what you're laying down.
Yeah, we do. So go ahead and put some questions down there. Robbie, what are you playing, man?
Right now, I'm playing just a mixture of Sea of Thieves, and I did get back into Assassin's Creed a little bit.
I beat it.
Sprinkled in with some PUBG.
I beat it.
Was
PUBG.
Good?
I beat PUBG. I got to the end where they said, you have all the chickens, and I get to make the chicken dinners. I get to pick who wins.
Did you know that KFC did a thing where, like, this past weekend, if you won a chicken dinner, you can actually go to KFC and get a chicken dinner?
That's cool.
I was like, that was a very good play for KFC.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I kind of wanted to go home and play PUBG just to do it and say, I eat a chicken dinner
so you can
for
post
real.
it on Instagram. That's literally how our lives work these days.
Oh, yeah. Do it for the gram, baby. Do it for the gram.
So, out of the ones that you're playing right now, which one are you enjoying it the most?
Right now, I would say, even though there's not a lot of content for it yet, Sea of Thieves, because I'm usually playing it with 2 to 4 people.
Yeah, you're playing with friends. That's one of those things, like you're creating memories there.
Exactly, like blowing up our boat. And we were so ticked off that we went and found somebody else's boat and just blew it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They just went and destroyed their boat.
We were so bitter. We were just like, we saw this ship going. I'm like, Jacob, let's kill it. So me, him, and Marshall just killed them all. And I mean, it's fun. What about you? What game are you enjoying playing right now?
Well, I just finished Assassin's Creed. I played. I'll tell you. I'll spin you a yarn. I finished. I played Gone Home. Played all the way through. I've had it for a while, but I played Gone Home, and it is such a good game. It's definitely a walking simulator. If you don't know anything about it and you want to play it, well, you better. We're fixing to spoil the crap out of this. You going in, they use so many tropes to make it feel like a horror game. Like you have like creaking and like sounds all around you and all of that, and it is so good at telling the story. Like you're picking up little things, you're reading them, and it'll start like a journal entry from your sister. Like pretty much the story is told from these journal entries of your sister talking about this relationship she starts having. And it is so good, piecing all of these little things together. One of the most interesting ones, because like you're also finding out more about your parents, like their lives and everything going on with them, why your dad is the way he is and everything. And like I went to his study, and you see on his wall he has like a cork board or whatever, and he has like sticky notes on the thing. It says, "You can do better." And you're like, it's like, you can do better. But later in the game, you find, because he's an author and everything, you find like a copy of his book, and you turn it over, and you see a letter from his dad, he's a doctor. And he says, "I've read your book," and he's talking about it. He's like, "I find it contrived and like blah, 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 blah." And he ends the letter, "You can do better." And it was like 20 years ago, like before the game. So like that guy has lived 20 years with "You can do better." Like every day, "You can do better," from his dad. It's just like, it's something you could totally miss in the game and not pick up or anything. But it's so good. And then you have so many little details within that game. It is definitely worth playing. I'm not going to give it away, but there was a moment, like I knew what the game was. I knew where we were going and everything. But, man, the last, like, minute of that game, like I knew where it was going. I was freaking out. Like I was like, no. And I'm like rushing to a part of the house to like, I finally got the key for it. And like, I'm freaking out. It is so good. It is so good. I'm not gonna spoil that part because it is something worth playing.
I'll have to check it out. Like it's been on my to-do list along with
many others. Yeah,
others.
I knocked that one out and Assassin's Creed Origins off my backlog. Jumped back into Horizon Zero Dawn. So starting to play it again and really enjoying it. And then playing Fortnite, of course, trying to get better at it. Got in the top 4.
Heck yeah.
So I didn't do anything. You have to watch last Thursday's episode while I explain how I got into the top 4 by not shooting anyone. So, yeah, there we go. We got a question from Nick Caputo. Thanks for the question. My question is, with Nintendo Switch only being a year old, do you feel the marketplace is already saturated with unnecessary games? Games are already hard to find, but 90% of the games on there I haven't even heard of. That is a good question.
Very good.
Every Thursday, I read out the list of games that are coming out and all of that, and my Lord, I have to pretty much say, unless I say a different console, it's a Switch game.
I do feel like there are a lot of unnecessary games, and I hope that this isn't the case where Nintendo is just throwing out, how when pasta's done, you throw it at the wall, and if it sticks, it's good. I hope they're not just grabbing handfuls of noodles.
I've never done that. I didn't.
And just go. Yeah, it is a thing.
Okay. Well, that was weird. I think one of the biggest problems, like, yes, Nintendo is probably still curating its eShop and everything. They're not curating it as much as I think they should. A lot of indie developers are seeing the Switch as where the next mecca is. Steam is dead. Steam puts out hundreds of games each week, and you're not going to be seen on there. Nintendo's Switch has been the place where indies can go, be found, and actually make things happen. What is it? It's not Celeste. It's another game. Anyway, it's a Zelda, pretty much a Zelda knockoff almost. If it didn't go on the Switch, that studio would be closed right now. So it sold well enough on the Switch to keep that studio going for them to be making the next game.
Yeah.
So right there, it shows me the power of the Switch, but I agree it is becoming super saturated very, very fast because we were only getting a little trickle. They've now started opening up the faucet more and more, and I'm hoping that they will either turn the tide and make it where they're curating more, or they develop something where there can only be so many games out every month.
Yeah.
Something where
something has to change, or we will get tired of, unless it's just a really big Switch game.
Yeah, and I think like the more indies we get on there, the more we're going to have that saturation happening, and then it's only going to be the big games that get seen.
Yeah.
The properties that Nintendo are putting out, or a big third party is putting on the console and everything. I think with the revamping of the eShop that I talked about last week will help a lot, but right now it's very hard to find a game on there, and you have to know the name unless it's in the top sellers or the latest releases, or it has a price cut and is on sale and everything. So good question, Nick. I'm hoping that won't be the case.
It calms down a little bit.
I hope it does, but I don't see that happening unless somebody at Nintendo does some stuff there.
Overhauling.
We got a question from Dan Kennedy. Dan says, question, if you were in charge of making and directing a Suicide Squad game for DC, how would you do it? I would first
not follow the script of the movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't get the script of the movie. I would first get an awesome developer. I would get Naughty Dog. I know I go to Naughty Dog for a lot of things, but with that, having that many characters, you need somebody that can tell a good story.
I feel like either them or BioWare would also.
Yeah, BioWare would be good.
Insomniac. I mean, I know most of their stories are single person, and they have some people trickle in, but like mine would be BioWare. Who's your other?
Supermassive.
Supermassive would
because
also
they made Until Dawn had a ton of characters in it, and their decisions made the rest of the game happen. That would be a good way to do a Suicide Squad game. Where your decisions as different characters, either they die, they live, whatever, that would be really good. I know there was hints and rumors that Rocksteady was working on a Suicide Squad game. Actually, WB Montreal, that was the one that they were hinted at working on. I wouldn't go with either one of them.
Yeah.
Because Rocksteady, of course, did the Batman Arkham games, did an amazing job with them. I think with this kind of game, you're going to need somebody that can handle multiple personalities, multiple stories, multiple motivations, and you have to give them something that is not end of the world like we got in the movie. That is not there. They are not Superman. They are not on that level.
They handle the smaller, like, Gotham City's being, someone's being held captive, or or search and destroy.
Yeah, they're going into a country to destabilize that country or something like that.
Yeah, that's more their pace.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I would say, I would do it similar to what the BioWare Mass Effect games and Knights of the Old Republic game is. You have you're the main person, but you can have 2 to 3 people in your party to go out, and it could be NPC, it could be the computer generated people, Or I would add a campaign cooperative type thing where your friends can jump in and they can be Harley Quinn, Deadshot. They could be Killer Croc, and I think adding that aspect to it would be really cool.
Yeah, I think if you did it, there's multiple ways that you can spin this thing.
Oh yeah.
Or shave this dog, whichever one you want to say. I just made that one up. But I think it comes down to you have to have a good story. And a good story comes from somebody that knows the characters, that knows how to write a comic book story. I would get Scott Snyder to write the story for this game. Or I would get Paul Dini. I think Paul Dini would do awesome. He's the creator of Harley Quinn. He's written a lot of awesome stuff. He worked really well on the Arkham games. He also worked, he was one of the main writers for the Batman, the animated series. So I think he would do great. Some of his work is some of the best on the villain side of the animated series. And on he did Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. Both of those games, wrote the stories for them. So I think it would be an awesome way to get him in there. Yeah. Him and Scott Snyder would be awesome.
Oh, yeah. Who wrote the Court of Owls, that run?
Court of Owls, Scott Snyder.
Snyder, yeah. That's the main one that I remember, and I liked his style.
Yeah. Dan Kennedy says Telltale, which they're doing the Batman game right now, and they have not really a Suicide Squad, but they have several villains that are in the new season. You have Harley Quinn, you have the Joker, you've had the Riddler. There's a few other that are in there.
Two-Face?
I don't remember. I haven't got past the first episode, but they definitely do a good job. So
I'm just not that into the Telltale. I'm the one that I want to control my person.
You want to actually play the game instead of pick dialogue choices. I understand.
But Wolf Among Us, I still haven't beat it. But what I have played is, I do love it for the story aspect.
Mm-hmm. It's 100% amazing. So, everybody, there you go. There is the episode for March 27th, 2018.
Our Tuesday episode, if you would.
In the books. It's there. It's
that
done.
pig has been kicked.
Yes. It's been kicked. It's been kicked hard.
It can't be kicked anymore until Thursday.
And then
it recovers, and then we kick it again.
And it's one of those pigs that doesn't learn, so we kick it again. We hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, make sure you like it, you share the episode, subscribe to us over on all the platforms, subscribe on podcast services, including Spotify. So if you're a Spotify user, we're on there as well.
Spotify.
Yeah. You can go over to patreon.com/nerdcave, support us there, and do all of that awesome stuff.
And no pigs were harmed in the making of this podcast.
No pigs were harmed. So, this has been Zach.
And Robbie.
Have a week.